Hi guys! In this video, we will be going over every upcoming hero changes that will be happening in Marvel Rivals Season 1. Starting with Captain America, he's getting some great quality of life improvements to keep him in the fight longer. The delay time for shield restoration after using Living Legend is reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Liberty Rush now has a shorter cooldown, down from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. His base health has increased from 650 to 675, giving him better durability in combat. And finally, the energy cost for his ultimate ability Freedom Charge has been reduced from 3400 to 3100. However, the health regeneration it provides has been slightly nerfed, dropping from 110 to 100 per second. Next, Doctor Strange is seeing some adjustments to make him more balanced. Both Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom now have damage falloff, starting at 5 meters and reducing to 70% at 8 meters. Additionally, the shield recovery rate after using Shield of Seraphim has been slightly reduced from 80 per second to 70 per second. These changes aim to reduce his overall threat range while giving opponents more counterplay options. Thor is getting some love in this update with tweaks to improve his survivability. His base health has been increased from 500 to 525, giving him more staying power, and Thor is now immune to CC during his ultimate ability. Hulk has been dominating the battlefield, so this patch brings him back in line with other Vanguards. His Gamma shield value from Indestructible Guard has been reduced from 250 to 200. This adjustment decreases his sustained combat capability, especially when jumping into the fight. And finally, Venom fans is gonna love this update. His Symbiotic Resilience ability now gives a higher bonus health ratio per lost health point, increasing from 1 to 1.2. Plus, the base damage of his ultimate ability, Feast of the Abyss, has been boosted from 40 to 50. These changes make Venom a bigger threat to backlines and increases his survivability in the battle. That's all the changes we have for Vanguard heroes. So now let's look at the Duelist. Oh boy, this is a long one. First up, Black Panther is seeing a slight reduction in his survivability. The additional health gain after refreshing Vibranium marks with Spirit Rend is reduced from 40 to 30, and the upper limit of his bonus health is reduced from 120 to 75. Black Widow now gets significant optimizations to her abilities, making her a greater threat. The first effect of Edge Dancer now has a larger range, increasing from a 3 meter radius to 5 meters. The stamina recovery time for Fleet Foot is drastically reduced from 12 seconds to just 4 seconds. And her ultimate Electroplasma Explosion now reaches maximum power faster, with the charge time reduced from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. On the other hand, Hawkeye's mid to long range threat is being reduced while improving his close combat resistance. The spread angle of his blast arrows is slightly reduced for better accuracy, and the passive Archer's Focus now triggers at a shorter range, reduced from 60 meters to 40 meters, and its maximum additional damage is reduced from 80 to 70. As for the Goddess of Death Hela, we see a small nerf to her survivability, where her base health is reduced from 275 to 250. Magic's damage of Umbral Incursion in her Darkchild form is boosted from 115 to 135. Moon Knight's number of talents generated by Hand of Khonshu increases from 10 to 14, and additionally, the explosion radius for each talent increases from 4 meters to 5 meters. Oh, that's a good buff. Namor. Okay. Namer's Monstro Spawn and Frozen Spawn abilities have been optimized as well, where he can now throw them more accurately to the desired location. Psylocke's ultimate now has more counterplay options. Her Dance of Butterfly will now check for barriers like Strange's Shield, Magneto's Shield, or Hawk's Shield before dealing damage. The Punisher gets a slight boost to his damage. The spread of Deliverance and Adjudication is slightly reduced, improving his weapon accuracy. Scarlet Witch is now stronger in fights against Duelist and Strategist, where the fixed damage of Chaos Control increases from 50 to 60 per second, but the percentage damage is reduced from 5 to 3% per second. Additionally, her projectile damage has increased from 30 to 35. Storm is finally receiving buff in this patch. The projectile speed of Windblade increases from 100 to 150, and its damage rises from 50 to 55. Bolt Rush damage is also increased, going from 70 to 80. After releasing Omega Hurricane, Storm will now receive a higher bonus health up from 350 to 450. And this extra health will no longer vanish instantly, instead it will diminish gradually at a rate of 100 per second. Squirrel Girl's ultimate now rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing randomly, but the health is reduced from 600 to 300. Bucky gets adjustment to balance his long range and close combat capabilities. The bonus health from Bionic Hook and Tainted Voltage increases from 30 to 40. The projectile damage of Rotorstern is increased from 70 to 75, but its damage area is reduced from 70 to 65. Additionally, damage decay is also reduced, dropping from 65% at 40 meters to 60%. His base health is also increased, going from 250 to 275 for better survivability. Wolverine gets a boost to his basic combat strength, but loses some survivability after activating his ultimate. His base health increases from 30 to 35. However, the damage reduction ratio provided by his Undying Animal decreases from 50 to 40%. As for Strategist, Cloak and Dagger receive buffs to their healing capabilities and ultimate coverage. The cooldown for Dagger Storm is reduced from 15 to 12 seconds. Their ultimate Eternal Bond now allows for an additional dash, increasing from 3 to 4, allowing you to cover more area. Jeff gets adjustments to his ultimate targeting range and a slight buff to his healing. Jeff's ultimate is changing from a 10 meter sphere to a 10 meter radius, 5 meter high cylindrical field. The healing from Joyful Splash is increased from 140 to 150 per second. Luna's snow ability is being adjusted to prevent the bug abuse, where the interval for switching between healing and damage in Fate of Both Worlds is increased from 0.1 to 0.5 seconds. So we can't do this anymore. Mantis becomes slightly less mobile to balance her roaming support potential. Mantis' movement boost from her passive ability Nature's Favor is reduced from 2.5 meters to 1.5 meters per second. Rocket's healing from Repair mode increases from 60 to 70 per second. Now that's pretty much it for our Vanguard, Duelist and Strategist. Here are some hero team-up combo changes that is happening as well. Hawkeye's seasonal damage buff is being reduced from 20 to 15%. Hela's season damage buff is reduced from 20 to 15%. Namor gets a boost to his Frozen Spawn capabilities, where the damage is increased from 25 to 27, slowing effect is enhanced from 25 to 30%, and in Berserk state, Frozen Spawn damage is increased from 16 to 18. Rocket's Ammo invention will now be available more frequently, where his cooldown is reduced from 45 to 40 seconds. Magneto's Metallic Fusion projectile damage is increased from 55 to 60, and his spell field damage is increased from 30 to 35. And lastly, Storm's cooldown of Charge Gale is reduced from 20 to 15 seconds, and the damage has been increased from 50 to 55. I hope you find the information from this video helpful, and if it did, a like and a sub would help out this channel a lot. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!